When most people think of pirates, they imagine gold, ships, and wild adventures. But behind the legends is a much harsher truth. No supermarkets, no fresh food, no clean water, just weeks, sometimes months, stuck in the middle of the ocean with barely enough to survive. Forget treasure. The real challenge was staying alive. So how did pirates survive the brutal hunger, rotting food, and sickness at sea? Let's break it down. Life on a pirate ship is relentless. There is no safety net, no comfort, no certainty. Every day is survival. Food doesn't last forever, neither does water. The ship carries what it can, but there are limits. And when weeks turn into months, supplies start to vanish. The daily meals are simple. Hard biscuits, known as hardtack. Salted meat packed in barrels. Dry beans or peas, that's all. Each man gets a fixed portion. Usually about a pound of meat, if there's any left. A few pieces of biscuit, maybe some dried beans. It's not enough, but it has to be. There is no luxury, just enough to avoid collapse. Water is even more limited. Stored in barrels, it is given out carefully. 1 quart per man, per day. It must cover drinking and any kind of washing. There's never enough. The food is not just basic, it's hard to eat. The biscuits are dry and nearly impossible to chew. Pirates soak them in water or rum to soften them. Sometimes they find worms or insects inside. They remove what they can and keep eating. They don't have a choice. As time passes, food begins to rot, but nothing is wasted. Even meat that turns green is saved. Pirates scrape off the mold, boil it, and eat what remains. If it doesn't kill them, it's still food. Cooks on board learn how to make something from almost nothing. They mix leftover meat scraps, biscuit crumbs, and dried vegetables into stew. One common meal is called loblolly. It's a thick mixture of whatever can be found. It doesn't taste good, but it keeps the men standing. Water, too, becomes dangerous. As it sits in barrels, it grows slimy and green. Still, it is used. Pirates add rum, not for flavor, but to try to make it safe. The smell is bad, but thirst is worse. Some captains remind their men every drop and crumb matters. Survival depends on discipline. When food and water run low, pirates can't wait. They act. Their next target is not always treasure, it's food, it's survival. They begin watching merchant ships. These ships carry exactly what pirates need: salted fish, flour, beans, dried fruits, cheese, and sometimes wine. A single raid can bring back months of supplies. Pirates know the routes. They study the winds. They time their attacks with precision. Most of the time they avoid bloodshed. The sight of an armed pirate crew is enough to make merchants surrender their cargo. Food is taken. Enough is usually left behind for the merchants to reach a nearby port. Pirates are not always cruel, but they are always focused on survival. If ships are too far, pirates turn toward land. They send scouts ashore to look like ordinary sailors. They visit small villages. They observe what's available: food stores, livestock, gardens. Once they identify a good target, they strike. They don't only take what's already prepared. Livestock is valuable: goats, chickens, even entire herds of sheep. They carry what they can, and if they can't carry it all, they leave what doesn't fit. Some captains negotiate quietly with village leaders, offering peace in return for regular supplies. It's not always war. Sometimes it's survival through exchange. But there are times when no ship comes, and no land is in sight. That's when pirates turn to the ocean itself. Fishing becomes their only hope. Lines are cast, nets are dragged behind the ship. The deck rocks constantly, but the work doesn't stop. Fish are caught, cleaned, salted, and dried in the sun. Some days are better than others. When nothing bites, they try anything. Jellyfish, seaweed, anything that won't poison them. It may not taste good, but it fills the stomach. Sharks are caught. Tuna, sometimes even whales. The problem isn't always catching them, it's preserving the meat. Without fast salting or drying, the food rots in days. Some crews string fish across ropes on the deck to dry under the sun. The smell is sharp, but the food lasts longer. Seaweed pulled in by accident becomes part of the diet. Cooked, boiled, dried. It doesn't spoil. It doesn't waste space. It becomes a quiet ally. But there is one enemy pirates don't see coming. Scurvy. Without fresh food, the body breaks down. First, the gums bleed. Then the teeth fall out. Old wounds reopen. New ones don't heal. The crew weakens. Some don't survive. Pirates don't know about vitamins, but they learn that fresh fruit and vegetables make a difference. Some captains start ordering raids on gardens. They steal citrus trees, herbs, vegetables, anything green. Lime trees are kept on deck. Pine needles are boiled into tea. It tastes bitter, but it works. Some crews even build small gardens on board, barrels filled with soil from the land. Most fail, but a few manage to grow herbs and leafy greens. That can be the difference between life and death. When things get hard, discipline becomes the anchor. The pirate code is more than rules, it's their lifeline. Everyone from the captain to the lowest crew member eats the same food, the same amount. No exceptions. Some captains give up their own rations to feed the sick. These acts build trust. Unity grows, and when a crew trusts each other, they survive longer. There are strict punishments for stealing food, not because of greed, but because every stolen bite could mean someone else goes hungry. Even in hardship, they maintain order. That's what keeps the ship alive. To distract from the hunger, they sing, they share stories, they mark small victories, a good fishing day, a fresh barrel of water, a successful raid. These moments become their reason to keep going. On some ships, they celebrate feast and famine days. When there's food, they enjoy it. When there isn't, they laugh together to stay strong. Storytelling during meals becomes tradition. The best storyteller earns a little more food. It keeps spirits high. And that matters more than anything. Survival becomes a mindset, a culture, a belief. The sea takes a lot, but unity gives them something back. On the open sea, the fight isn't just against storms or enemies. It's against hunger, weakness, and fear. But the strongest pirate crews survive because they never face these battles alone. They share, they plan, they adapt, and most of all, they endure together. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this and want to discover more about the world of pirates, their adventures, secrets, and stories from the high seas, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. There's plenty more treasure waiting to be uncovered.